Concern and denial. Phone call from Andy's teacher, February 10th. Oops. Hello, Mr. Jackson. This is Ms. Blackwell, Andy's English teacher. I'm calling because I'm concerned about Andy's performance and behavior in class. I see. I appreciate your call. What seems to be the problem? Well, academically, he's really slipping. He's missed 4 out of the last 6 homework assignments. One of those was a major writing assignment, an essay on the importance of friendship. He's failed the last 2 quizzes, and we have a test coming up next week that I'm afraid he won't be ready for. You know, Andy has never made the grades that my wife and I expected of him. Every year I get calls from his teachers saying he's not doing his homework and he's failing tests. He's too old for me to spank. What do I do? I'm not sure what your course of action should be. You know him better than I do. I only see him once a day for 50 minutes. But surely some parental encouragement on your part would be helpful in reminding him that he's really only hurting himself. I believe that Andy has the ability. He just needs the desire to get it together. And as a black teacher, it really bothers me to see bright African-American young men like Andy waste their potential. I understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate your concern. Do you know some counselor there told him that he'd never make it in pre-law? I believe it. Of course, to be perfectly balanced, we have plenty of teachers and counselors who are fair and would bend over backward to help Andy, but lately, even his behavior has been working against him. How do you mean? Well, he's been doing a lot more acting out lately. He's always been a cheerful, good-natured kid with very few inhibitions, which sometimes does not lead to the best classroom behavior. Let's face it, that's teacher talk for. Andy will stand up on top of a table and sing God Bless America at the top of his lungs if he's giving a report on patriotism. The kids love it, and most of the times the teachers at least tolerate it. But lately he's been doing mean, even dangerous things. For instance, last week, he shot a bottle rocket out of the teacher's window, and yesterday he was sent out of my room for spitting on the floor. He was sent out of another class during a test. Andy ripped up a student's test paper and threw it in the trash before the student had even finished the test and turned it in. There seem to be more of these kinds of incidents lately, not at all like the Andy we know and care about. I heard about that bottle rocket incident, but the others are new to me. Couldn't it just be normal teenage stunts that we all do in high school? Perhaps, but I see other things in his personality that concern me. When he's not causing noticeable disturbances, he's somewhat withdrawn. He has stopped combing his hair, he slumps in his seat, and he keeps his head down on the desk unless I constantly remind him to sit up and pay attention. Is he getting enough sleep at night? From what I observe, kids that age forget to comb their hair half the time anyway. And with all the new hairstyles that the kids are coming up with, there's no telling what he's planning to do with his hair next week. And as far as I know, he's getting plenty of sleep. He doesn't have an after-school job because of basketball. He's in his room most nights by 11 o'clock, and from what you say, he's not using a lot of his time to do homework, so that doesn't seem to be the problem. Besides, he never was a morning person. He doesn't really get moving until noon. Well, I just wanted to let you know that I'm concerned. A couple of weeks ago, he ran out of the classroom in tears in the middle of a discussion about the suicide of Lady Macbeth. Let me ask you this, and please don't misunderstand my intentions or think that I'm trying to intrude into the personal life of your family, but wasn't Andy seeing a counselor about possible problems that may have been caused by his involvement in that accident? Yes, he was initially, but the counselor has told me he feels that Andy is adjusting quite well to the situation, and we will be discontinuing those sessions on a regular basis. I appreciate your efforts, but I feel that you might be overly concerned about a situation that's under control. I see. Well, thank you for your time. I hope Andy is able to get himself together and pass English this quarter. I'd hate to see him fail. I'll talk to him. You'll see an improvement. That's a promise.